So I have a digital library with a list of every movie I have seen since 2021 with the exact date and time I saw them. Looking at that list, I can say that I have seen a number of great movies, from City of God to Talented Mr. Ripley, down to Lion, up to Gold. That said, the evening of November 24th, 2022 is a time frame in my life I will do anything to relive. That is the day I watched Tar. Wait, don't get it twisted. I didn't watch a movie, I observed art in motion. I hope this makes sense. Let's make more sense of Tar. The movie follows a world-class classical music conductor who has more accolades to her name than the average pop star of today. To say that Lydia Tar is at the apex of her profession would be to put it lightly. She is simply existing on a different stratosphere talent-wise, and her contemporaries are aware of this fact. But that is just the surface. There is more to her story and image than meets the eye. Lydia Tar is a bully, a narcissist, and a manipulator. She will go to any length to get whatever it is that she wants, a trait that will ultimately contribute to her downfall. Todd Field, writer and director of the amazing movie, has in various interviews said that he wrote the script with one person in mind, Cate Blanchett. And to be honest, I see his vision. I occasionally rack my brain in search of another actor who could have done such a marvelous job with this role, and the only people that come to mind are J.K. Simmons, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Tilda Swinton. I end each brainstorming session by offering gratitude that Cate Blanchett secured this role without stress. Blanchett herself has spoken about the weight of playing such a character like Tar. She described it as a very dangerous and potentially career-ending role during her acceptance speech at the BAFTAs. Now, I have never prepared for a role as an actor, but something that is easy for me to see is that this kind of dark role will ultimately take a toll on any actor, and it will take months for an actor to rid themselves of the chain this character carries throughout the movie. Let me say this at this point. Before watching Tar, I only knew Cate Blanchett as Cate Blanchett, one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Of course, I knew she had won Oscars. It didn't strike me as anything peculiar. That was until I watched Tar, which made me check out her other movies. First off, this lady has 8 Oscar nominations, currently the 4th most nominated woman behind Meryl Streep with 21, Katharine Hepburn with 12, and Bette Davis with 10. Out of her 12 nominations, Blanchett has managed 2 wins for her performances, one in 2005 for her performance in The Aviator, another in 2014 for her performance in Blue Jasmine. She has amassed 7 Oscar nominations this century alone, which, judging by all standards, is an impressive feat. This clearly shows that Blanchett, at this point, is sitting up there with the greats like Robert De Niro, Tom Hanks, Jane Fonda, and Judi Dench. She has the performances and the awards to show for it. So let's bring this back to the topic at hand. Is Cate Blanchett the greatest actress of her generation? This is not a question that can be dismissed easily, because this woman has a filmography that is powerful enough to rival even the greatest actors of all time, regardless of the agenda. And of course, this is not a competition. Questions about the greatest in any field will always give birth to subjective answers, because the criteria for this accolade varies from one observer to another. A deep dive into Blanchett's career showed that she has what it takes to claim this title for herself. And don't forget, the reason we are having this conversation in the first place is simply because of the latest movie, Tar. Let me just say this again. This is the best acting performance I have seen from any actress this century. The way Blanchett allowed herself to be swallowed by this character feels otherworldly. Most people I spoke to said that her acting gave them the impression that she was playing a real-life character. Tar alone has taken Blanchett to a totally different level on any professional greatest actors list of the century or even of all time. It's just that good. And I want you to remember that this is a subjective opinion. I have not seen all her acting performances this decade or even the last. This one stands out from all the ones I have seen so far. You see, the thing is that I don't really care what Blanchett said about preparing for this role. She could talk about eating cement for 3 days, spending multiple nights in the cemetery, or having one person who believed in her talent while on set, and it would make sense to me. Why? Because the result is there and it matches whatever work that went into creating this character. In Tar, Blanchett succeeds in making you forget you are watching an actress. Why do I think Cate Blanchett should be in a conversation about the greatest actress of her generation? First off, it is the consistency and frequency of putting out stellar performances in movies. Most actors are lucky to have more than one iconic role in one decade. Not Blanchett though. This woman spews them out like she's throwing coins at a wall. We are talking about an actress that received her first Oscar nomination in 1998, just a year after her debut performance in a feature film. Such an uncommon feat, if you ask me. Then came her supporting performance in 1999's Talented Mr. Ripley. Despite her limited screen time, Blanchett's talent managed to outshine most of the other actors in lead roles. Hey, do not come for me. You can watch the movie and see for yourself. Her second nomination and first Oscar came in 2005 for her performance in The Aviator, in which she played the legendary Katharine Hepburn. This is one movie I watched after seeing her in Tar, a splendid performance that deserves all the love it got. And the nominations continued until she received her 4th and 5th acting nominations in the same year, in 2008. Only 12 actors have this achievement to their names, and Blanchett is one of them. Then came Blue Jasmine and Carol, 2 roles which are often lauded as the best in her filmography. I have seen Blue Jasmine, and I still feel that her performance in Tar is definitely better than the performance. Years from now, we'll come back to this conversation. Even in a movie like Thor Ragnarok, Blanchett pulled out all the stops for her villainous role as Thor's nemesis, Hela. I honestly cannot praise that performance enough. You can't deny her determination to bring every role she touches to life, and her success rate is quite impressive. So to answer the big question, yes, I think Blanchett has given us enough excellence needed to award her the throne as the greatest actress of her generation. Greatest of all time is a conversation that we might be having 10 years from now. Let us see how the rest of the decade goes for that. But if her performance in Tar is anything to go by, then I feel sad for her peers, because Blanchett is currently operating on a level that many would never reach in their careers.